What's going on, Brandon? Jeff? I tried to go live and it was still on private from our Patreon broadcast. I didn't know to change that. What's up, Javi? Yeah, the issue was just the YouTube is marked private. I just figured that out from our last Patreon show. Got me off to a slow start. Anyway, we got Bitcoin now, 4,700. This is a chart we've kind of been watching. I had a count here. I thought we could work our way up to 4,600. I also had shown a much bullish count. Not sure where that one went on me. There was more of a bearish count. And then this here was the extremely bullish count that I had thrown up, which I'm leaning more to this count right now. You can see down here, long shorts down here. Nothing saying that we're topping out. Was higher back here at these levels. So, that still supports, I think, further rally. So, probably we're doing a 3 and then going to mouse around maybe here for a 4. We just got to change this count a little bit. And probably just drag everything a little bit higher. So that's kind of where I think we're at. Off these lows, we've done a 1-2, 1-2. So it's going to be hard to count this surge that we've just had. What's up, Philip? So again, I think we just continue to try to work higher. I've got the software here. You can see Bitcoin USD. We are up here at overbought, but breaking out of the range, etc. Technometer is going to get you, telling you be cautious way earlier than it needs to be. Here's Bitcoin USDT. Technometer 46.53 here. So not a big problem yet. So again, I think we still have higher to work. Litecoin. Let's switch this real quick. Litecoin long shorts. I put a lot of this on Twitter. You've had the shorts dramatically fall off here, which we was expecting on this 5th wave. So there's still quite a few shorts. If this is a real bull move, we got to get some people longer. So the longs have not ignited here at all. You can see that. Longs is the green. Nothing going on there. So it still looks like path of least resistance is higher. I do think now that possibly this is the preferred account. I did show this, the 1, 2, 3, 4. I showed we had a triangle here, which would have been the light blue triangle, and then showed the green triangle. So I think we're in the 5th. I don't think it'll end early. I mean, it could. It gets way trickier now. We've done enough. The thing is, the 5 wave on the light blue was even a little longer than the current one. So I still think this 5th wave will extend. So, there's some counts 76 to 80. That's why I showed this here at 76. And then something, what was it, 106, I think it could even. 1.618. So I think it's still higher. Then we have XRP we gave a buy on. That was down there 0.318. and stayed friendly on Discord, etc., and the Patreon. I thought we'd have a run up to 35, maybe mess around here a little bit at that level, and then still surge higher. So I think we still go higher. At the moment, on stops, let me go back a few more things. There, Ethereum, we had to buy down here at 112 a couple times, and the recent one was 135-ish, 136-ish. It's a little slower than need be, but I still think it probably could still catch up. NEO's been a good one. NEO had what I thought was 5 waves up, ABC, 5 waves up, ABC. And then we had some springs here. The software caught that low and got us friendly, so we've had a big rally there. And again, I still think that continues. Probably doing a wave 4 here before more new highs. And we got the usual, let's go over a few, ADA, USDT, still continuing higher. These could be ABCs, C's ending, but I don't think that's it. I mean, we're up here, previous triangle resistance. So a good objective, a good place to trade a little bit sideways. So if you want to take something off on ADA, this is not possibly a bad place. There's BAT USD. Not as strong on the chart, but has done pretty well. We have showed the Wyckoff wave markings here. This was a classic one that we was on. So it's now in the markup phase. Still would have higher to go as well. BNB USDT. Markup here, accumulation was a little bit tougher. This weakness here on BNB was a little deep. But we have said to stay long, strong stocks. So that still worked. And then what else here? EOS we've been on. EOS 481. Got upside objectives higher. We had called this one too on our Patreon. Thought that they would continue higher, so we did catch the low again here around 422. I still think we could see upwards of 550. So I think we're in the wave 3 of 5 and still go higher on EOS. KMD is one that we've mentioned as well. It's starting to come alive again. So we're along that from 93-ish. And then what else? ZRX is one that we've always stayed a little bit long. Here's XLM up 6%. Trying to dig out. ZRX USD 36 cents. We thought some of these alts would still come alive, and we still think that's the case. Okay, we got Zen USD 741 unchanged. Let's bring up Zen BTC. I mean, Zen's not been as strong. Got a little weak in February. So, one that could be traded. The weaker ones, I think you probably should try to trade a little bit in case these markets don't continue higher. But for now, I still think we work higher. Here's ICX USD. We've been all over this one back to the spring. And then we had the jump in the backup. So we gave new buys here around 0.31 and change. On these, I think I would just have a stop at break even or stop, maybe a stop here at 0.334 and let some of these rides see if they can come alive a lot more. Again, I think the good thing is probably to trail stops and let these things work higher. I think we still go higher. Stops for Bitcoin, that's a little bit tougher. I mean, obviously don't want to see 4,200 again, but that's much lower. So, I still think now the bullish count that I had showed is more appropriate. So, I guess I think I'd expect more sideways here than maybe a spring or a quick nasty sell-off to shake everybody out before the next turn up. So, I would say 4,500 could still be seen on the downside maybe in the next day or two before we go higher. I'll throw up XRP again. I mean, it's been really quiet, as you know. Our indicators look pretty good down here at 0.32. Then we mentioned it again when we were making these lows. The things still look good. Let me bring up, here's XRP USD with the software. Technometer's 44. After giving us a buy back here as marked around this 31.5 level. XRP USDT. Hold on, guys, I got too many windows open. XRP USDT, we are at overbought, from going to oversold to overbought, but we've had a big green bar with big volume. So I would let that technometer settle down and look to buy the next neutral to slightly oversold technometer reading. What's up, Bob? I don't know if I got much more to go over. There's one thing I did want to say, because I know a lot of people weren't bearish or weren't bullish here on Bitcoin, looking for lower prices like BZ, everybody else. And something you want to keep in mind, because these lows were made on Bitcoin at 31.20 when everybody was bearish. Everybody was talking about no good news coming. Everybody's wanting to be short, etc. And even BZ was bragging about he's been right on all his calls about no ETF, no BAT, no Ethereum futures, all that bullshit. I mean, none of that matters. I'm not here to pick the news. I mean, I don't know how he got paid by saying that stuff. I mean, the key is price action. So I'm saying that because price action is what is, Bob, I didn't know he was on Twitter, whatever. But yeah, he's always got somebody doing that, so whatever. But yeah, he was talking about he's been so right on no ETFs coming, no BAT, whatever. But Bitcoin's went from 31.20 to 4,700. He was saying Litecoin when it was $20 was going to 5 or 10, and don't touch cryptos the next 6 to 12 months. So okay, he's right on the news. News has been bad, and prices are climbing a wall of worry. So BZ's Matt. He changes his name every couple months to get away from people. But yeah, and I mentioned this even in the last few weeks, few months. You cannot trade cryptos off of news. Most of the news is fake, FUD, whatever. So do not make news a part of your trading. I mean, I try to stay away from the news. It's good to know what I think sentiment is out here, and I use news for that to kind of gauge what everyone's thinking. And yeah, Nick and I definitely, we go over the news, and we've been saying ETFs are coming, BAT's coming. I still agree with all that. Does it affect my daily trading? No. Does it affect what Nick's saying on scalps in the Discord or on YouTube? No. None of that does. So you need to keep yourself focused away from the news. And when the ETFs and BAT and all that does come out, who knows? We could be back at 20,000 Bitcoin. So the news didn't get us out up at the highs. As most everybody knows, I really bullish the space and stayed way too long as well on the way down. All I can do is try to get back in there like I've done, get good buys and do what we do. So we've had good buys all the way up on Bitcoin. The last one here was at, like 39.20. And I gave one when I was home for my auditors at 38.50. So, Bitcoin is today 46 to 50 on some technometers. Again, technometer is good, RSI is good if you're in a trading range. If you're in a bull move, none of those things will be good for you. What's up, CWG? Javi, yeah, people saying we give no sell signals. I mean, I've had none, but exactly this is why. So everybody playing for a $20 move in Bitcoin or flopping back and forth, they didn't make any money. Some of them might have caught this last little surge, but we've been buying from the bottoms, and lucky have given no sells. On Litecoin, I had mentioned back at 57.33 that we could trade sideways. If you want to take some off, you could. But then I came back and gave a buy again at 58.10 and gave the buy down here at 54.50 or so. So I've stayed bullish all the way up. Everybody knows that. So, and here at 71, you got to be careful if you're short-term trading and you've ridden this all the way up. I mean, here you could take 20-25% off. I wouldn't argue that. It's been a big run, big gains. I still don't think so. And Nick, I don't know whether you still want to do a 6:30 show. I mean, I want to get on here because I heard Beezy was talking. He's the only one live, and I thought obviously with the news, and Nick and I have been on this so strong, we had to jump on. So I got guys trolling me on Twitter that being long Litecoin was simple. It's been an uptrend, etc. Then find out he was shorting it down here at 39. So he was shorting here when the uptrend had already started. So people can talk all the shit they want, whether they're actually trading, making any money. Twitter's horrible for that. YouTube's horrible for that. Yeah, Bob, it's 1:30 here. So Nick and I might go live in 5 hours. Not going to promise that. We might wait, do it tomorrow night, and do it Thursday, since I'm on here now. We've got a lot of new Patreon members, $30 a month, where I try to give a lot away. Nick tries to give a lot away on YouTube, Twitter, etc. that some people are paying for, but we're trying to build that community. So I don't give away all the beans here on Twitter or on YouTube, but try to give enough to continue to build out our community. I'm giving these things live on YouTube all the way. Everyone knows we've been long Bitcoin, Litecoin. We jumped on EOS is one the software gave me a perfect buy at 366 on this triangle on a 0.382 pullback for the triangle. That was an obvious buy at 366. And then also mentioned a 422. I thought we'd done a 1-2. Still headed higher to maybe 550 plus. So that's been a good one. Digibyte not doing much here. Here's Digibyte Bitcoin. So I've been saying Digibyte's been a little bit slower than we wanted, a little bit weaker. Normally, with Wyckoff, you want to buy strong coins, sell weak ones. So I've stayed on the Litecoins, and Neo's been a good one. Again, Neo on the software gave us the same type of thing. We had divergences back here showing that somebody was selling on the volume, but price was being supported. So when that gets released, we get these type of surges to the upside. So quick, 35% to the upside. So I think here, if your coin's not doing very well, then you might want to, rethink. I'm gonna look at NAS here. Let's go to NAS USD Binance. But that's going to look like a ICX or some of these alt charts. This would have been a let's throw some volume on this. Software is getting another $12,000 upgrade. Should help me immensely when the software is done really well for us. but I'm going to always spend time trying to make it better. So time and money. So we're going to a $12,000 update that got to pay for out of my pocket, unless BZ can run a special and give me some money through a crowdfunding. That's a joke for anybody new. So on Nebulous, I mean, selling Climax over here, automatic rally. You could have called this, testing of the range down here. And then these were small sign of strength, last point of support. This would have been a jump, and then just sideways backing up here. And now we're doing the markup. So I think on things like this, you probably just got to try to trail the stop, I think, and let it ride. Or sell some partially as we go. I'm a little more to the point of, try to hit a home run. You don't hit a lot of good trades all the time. You need to hit a Litecoin once in a while, so now you got the funds to now go out and look for the next Litecoin and to be wrong a few times. So, thanks, Brandon. I mean, you're in the Patreon, which is helping us out a little bit. You always support, so appreciate that. So I think you trail stops. I think there's still more upside. I mean, Bitcoin had a big run, but shit, it's holding the gains up here extremely well. And I think a lot of people, said wait for the breakout, buy the pullback where it confirms. They didn't get that chance. There wasn't much bought on the way up. It went so fast. If you waited, if you're trying to buy a breakout and you see it at 4,300, you're like, okay, let's wait a second. Now it's 4,400. Let's wait a minute. Now it's 4,500. So everybody missed that. And this rally was so slow. And, everybody was saying 4,200, 4,100, huge resistance. No way we can get above that. You had, March 4th to April 1st. You had almost a month of rallies that looked sick and etc. But we still had, as we show here, 2 buys here as we were looking extremely quiet, like we were just testing the highs ready to break down. Nick and I was talking here, 4150. I said if we touch 4200, it'll be a liftoff because we're leaving everybody behind. Shorts were still high, and sentiment I think is still pretty bearish. Sell rents for Lambos. I guess I talk about Matt because I know he continues to talk about me and throwing jabs at me. So, and he's doing, he's a noob in this space. He did flyers for rappers and dogs. So you don't come into the space and act like you're an expert when you're not. So I think that's false advertising. And also you can't follow news. You can't say ETF's not getting okayed. BAT's not coming, etc., and say that Bitcoin's going to go down for a year or so. Those things really don't make any sense. So, but Rooms for Lambos, you ain't got to be here, so you need a therapist. I mean, fucking go somewhere else, and if you don't like it. I spend my day, 99% of my day, talking about cryptos and how to make money. So, but when you're a fraud and say a bunch of false shit, I'm going to call you out. So. And we're going to get all you guys over here, Florida Coatings, because you guys ain't got shit going on there with Matt. So you guys ain't making no money. You ain't got no money. So you're welcome over here. Talk your shit. I hardly talk about Matt. Everybody knows that. So if anybody wants any other coins they want to go over, I'm here only to say I think we're going higher. And I would continue to hold. Litecoin 60 to 72, and not giving up the gains at all. You've had big volume coming in. I think we're in the 5th wave. 5th waves can't extend. And, the wave 2 is from 30 to 60. So that's 30 higher. That would take, if 5 is the same length as 3, we go to 90. If it's 1.618, we go to like 106. So I keep saying, you can get cute, try to trade out of this thing. But now if you get left behind, you're in trouble. So, you know, it's hard to be in that position of, if you're not in Litecoin now, where are you going to buy it back? I mean, that's the tougher decision, especially when you're long-term bullish the space. So that's just the problem here. If you're going to take profits, move some to cash, you've got to be pretty strong that we're going to see some type of correction. If not, you're going to have to FOMO back in at dramatically higher prices, I think. So that's the problem. I mean, at some point here, I'm hopefully going to pull the trigger on some Litecoin and try to get it cheaper. Because even here, if you sell 71, I mean, at some point, correction is going to come down, maybe to a previous fourth. So risk is to 57. I mentioned a few days ago that 42 was huge divergences on selling, major selling while price did a wave 4. So 42 is huge support, I think, for any type of Bitcoin sell-off if we get it. Again, I don't think that's coming, but yeah, I've been wrong. I can only give my best trades here. So, taking some off here now at Litecoin at 71.41 probably makes a little bit of sense. And I'm not doing it. So I haven't taken anything off on any of these coins at the moment. If I would see a little more sentiment or short covering, etc., then possibly I would. Bitcoin long shorts, let's look at that again. The blue down here, I mean, we're not, we get up here a little bit higher at this 11.5 level, then, possibly that would tell you to tread a little more careful. If you're doing Elliott Wave, which again, I own WyckoffSMI.com, so I'm 99% Wyckoff, but I do throw some Elliott Wave on top of what I'm looking at. On Elliott Wave, I think we just did a wave 3, and I think it's too early to say the top's in. So I think we still go higher. If I could only pick one coin now, I mean, that'd be tough for me. I just don't like taking that type of risk. I mean, it's been Litecoin. That's the one I've continued to give buys on. I mean, Litecoin's been still the easy one. So I would hate to say it, I probably would be still, I'd buy Litecoin probably. The shorts have came off here dramatically, but they're still not at low levels. So instead we break down here more, I think there's still buying power. Then you got to realize the shorts have got to cover their shorts, and they got to get long. The green line is the longs. You can see as we fell, they did some buying, but now here with the uptrend, they're not chasing it. So I don't think there's anything scary about being long Litecoin still, except that we've had a triple off the low. But as we all know, Litecoin's been a hell of a lot higher, so you can't really trade like that. So still like Litecoin. And I think EOS goes higher. I think NEO still probably goes higher. Ripple could surprise you here because it's been a slow mover out of these lows. I mean, it was much easier to trade back at the previous here. So, if it gets back to the high we had overnight, I mean, I think there'll still be some buying come in. But I don't, Wyckoff doesn't like buying weak coins. You stay with the strong coins that have higher objectives. So I think Litecoin still has higher objectives. Yeah, I mean, Nick puts hours into this space. But I knew that when I talked to Nick and met him. I knew he had the love for cryptos, and he has the brains and the knowledge. He's in the space. He's in the investment space. So he's not a fly-by-night. He's not committing fraud. He's not screwing his friends out of money. So, and Nick, fundamentally, as everybody knows, Nick knows his shit. So, and I I know nothing on the fundamental side and don't really want to know that much because I am totally a technical trader. Pullback on Litecoin, Sol, controller. No, I'm still saying I think Litecoin still goes higher. I mean, I don't know what you say by a pullback, and I don't think, I guess 64 would be a little deep for me, probably. 1-2. 66, I wouldn't like, but I probably wouldn't slide out. 64 would be, I think, discouraging. So maybe a 64 stop now. We was talking about a stop down here at 56.50 or so. That got close. Now I wouldn't be as concerned with the close stop because I think probably you would get a chance to get it back even if you're stopped out or sell a little bit early. Somewhere here we're going to get a pretty big ABC, I think, on Litecoin before we continue a lot higher. But again, guys, I mean, this could be 2017 where there's no pullbacks and we rocket ship higher. Litecoin at 47.11 is way off the highs and could see a lot more. And if we've got my bull count here, I mean, this count here, and I showed this with the UR here, back here at 4,000, that if you be careful because these could be 1-2, 1-2s coming off the bottom, and that's what it was. This was another 1-2 right here. So we've got to do these 3-4-5s, 3-4-5s out here. But if this count is correct, if this is a wave 4 low, we're going to new highs, we're going to 25,000 plus. Then these are 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And this was just the start of the first three, really. So we've got to do 3-4-5s, 3-4-5s, 3-4-5s. I mean, I'm not taking it out that far because I don't want to waste the time on that. But, shit, that's going to take us, to above 7,000, 7,500 before we have a meaningful, scary ABC sell-off. So let's just say we get to 7,000 and then we do a 5,000 real quick to make everybody think we're headed to 2,500, and then we'll buy 5,000 for a move to 25,000. So that's kind of, I think right now you got to, if you've been listening to Nick and I mean, you're pretty well long, 100% long, and I think you got to stay that way. Again, if you believe in the space, this could be the start of another big rally. So XLM USD up 7%. Again, this is probably a selling climax over here or here with an automatic rally. So these were springs, shakeouts, trying to get everybody scared out. This would have been a sign of strength and a last point of support that we've been calling on a lot of these. And but again, this has been a little weaker coin, so not one that I've been talking a lot about. I have small positions here, so it'd be nice to see this one continue higher. On some of these coins here, I mean, XLM below 0.105, I think would be discouraging, and really an overlap at 0.112, I think, could be a little bit discouraging. So those are two levels maybe I'd use as a stop here, because that's not been a strong coin. And I'd agree, Brandon, that prices are still cheap if you want to get away from the charts and go back to a bigger time frame, obviously. 47.11 Bitcoin, I'm guessing, is still cheap as we move forward. I told you I got some Elliott Wave guys I respect. Before this last rally, they wanted to see more strength before they called the low at 3,100 as being the low. I don't know if today's action will get them there. I'd have to go back to that again. But they're calling for 65 to 125,000 Bitcoin. That's a crazy number. I don't know if we get there. For me, I got to try to take it one day at a time and see if we can get it there. And I think Bitcoin, the bearish count, if you think we're still going to sub 3,000, would probably be the first rally here was an A. This was a B. I did mark it like that it could be. I went away from that because it's not showing here. But this would be an A, B, and then maybe a 1, 2, 3, mouse around here for 4, touch 5,000 maybe. Call this a big ABC to the upside, and then we crash again. I don't really see that. These rallies look way too impulsive for me. So I've been going with the 1, 2. And again, I thought, maybe 4,600, 4,500 would be a place where you might want to make sure the rally looked good. But the rally like we had overnight, I think, solidifies we're still going higher. What's up, Matthew? I'll agree with what Nick's saying there. That's kind of what we're saying. Yeah, there's bigger percent gains in the alts, but the chance of larger losses are there, and also the coin going to zero. So I think you got to pick your points maybe. The most you're going to probably get from me is the NEO, the EOS, Ripple, etc. When I see some chances of the software coming out and giving us a buy point. With the $12,000 upgrade coming on the software, I think I'll have better buys on some of the alts. We're bringing in, thanks Brandon for the $10.
Show me the money.
We're bringing in volume from 99 exchanges. Another thing I got to bring up Matt, because I know he's making a jab on the software saying that volume is fake, so the software is no good. The problem with that, he's 100% wrong. The software is based on 5-minute waves. So if we do have a lot of big up volume fake and then 5 minutes later down volume fake, or we're having a bot trading aggressively, my software is going to zero all that out. So at the end of the day, if you see a rally on 50,000 coins, maybe a lot of that's fake, but my software is going to zero that out and show you the gain maybe on 5,000 coins. So that makes my software even more valuable, what he's saying. So once again, somebody talking shit about something they know nothing about, you need to stay doing flyers and handouts. Stay out of my business. And the software, everyone still says software is not launched, whatever. I'm using the software. Yes, I'm having some issues. I know when something didn't get calculated right. That's why I'm not giving out to subscribers, because I don't want you trading off a technometer reading, an OP reading that maybe you didn't realize that it was a mistake. I do realize that. So I can use the software for these broadcasts and for our trading. But no, the software is still not available for subscribers. I've got to make sure there's no issues. So the next upgrade, I'm going to say, is going to take care of that, and probably will offer to subscribers. But until then, I'm going to keep giving trades to our Patreon group, Discord, and doing what I can here for Twitter and YouTube. So that's the game plan we're still sticking with. I'm going to try to add value. Obviously, we're trying to get more people over to Patreon, where we answer questions for sure and try to go in more detail. Still manage money in the private client group. So we still trade your assets. Really now I would take accounts 10,000 and up, maybe a lower if you have been a supporter. So still going to continue to manage crypto assets, working on still things to try to make that easier on myself. And Nick and I are here to, we're in here long term. So we're trying to ride this wave up, to new highs Bitcoin, and then let's see from there. If you want to learn more about the software and Wyckoff, do the $300 course at learncrypto.io. And if you're really into it, do the full Unleashed course for $1,000 at wyckoffsmi.com. If you're a supporter, hit me up. I'll give you a discount. So Bitcoin here, 4709. Good chance we're going to fall asleep up here. That's what we tend to do, make a big move, fall asleep. So I would look for probably some type of wave forward that maybe mousses around out here for a while. Let's see if I can get any type of divergences or buy signals. Let me, on the software now, everyone wants, where we put stops, objectives, etc. This is Bitcoin USDT 5-minute price and volume. You can see there's nothing glaring here. Here we had volume going up, price could hardly make a new high, which led to this sell-off. But you've had new highs on volume and new highs on price. That'll change as we move forward. And here is, hold on a second. Got too many windows open. There's Bitcoin USD with volume and price. So you can see, again, no divergences. Price has been supported by volume, so there's nothing to report. I don't think there's any reason to panic yet. So hopefully we'll get some type of divergence when we get that. Again, the technometers are up overbought or near it. You'd expect that. An RSI or a technometer, oscillator, etc. is going to get overbought on a rally we just had. So you don't want to sell a 50 on a technometer after such a huge rally. We're in an uptrend. If we get a break and then a rally and get an overbought technometer, then I would change my mind. But if you're a short-term trader, you caught the rally, take some profits. Intermediate term, longer term, I think you got to stay long. So again, we have all buys here marked, no sells. When I do mark a sell, it's going to be a short-term sell, probably nothing more. We're still friendly to space. I think we head higher. So that's all I've probably got right now. Follow me on Twitter. Follow Nick on Twitter if you want to stay to some updates we give out. Join the Patreon, $30 a month. If you want to get further involved, we've got a great group over there. A lot of things shared. And that's going to be the place to be, I think, as we explode here in the near future. So, anybody got any more questions? Otherwise, I'm going to get out of here. Let's go Blues. Cardinals opening day Thursday. We got a party at the club Thursday afternoon, so we'll be sliding over there. Might not be a good night to do a show, actually, Nick, if you're still in here. So Nick and I might be alive here in 4.5 hours. If not, I'd have to think for sure tomorrow night. I keep saying if the software was working better, I'm going to be live definitely every morning as well. Because I want to be able to give the software out here and go over more coins. Software, as I've said, still having a few issues, so I'm not live in the mornings as much as I would like. If we continue volatility, you will see me here. So I want to stay on top of the volatility. If things go quiet again, then Nick and I take a few days off here and there and try to stay focused. So let's see if we can keep taking money out of these markets. Keep hitting some pork blasters. All right, guys, that's all I got. So possibly catch you tonight. Otherwise, we'll catch you tomorrow. Peace out.
LearnCrypto.io is a pathway to understanding of cryptocurrencies. At our website, you can learn about the grandfather of technical analysis, Richard D. Wyckoff, purchase our Cryptocurrencies and Wyckoff trading course, and read our daily updated blog. You can also find the link to our YouTube channel, where you will get technical analysis and fundamental research about cryptocurrencies on the daily. If you are too busy with family, retirement, work, or all of the above, then just click our crypto PCG link and allow us to manage your cryptocurrency portfolio for you. You give us trading APIs so we can enter orders and manage your portfolio, but cannot withdraw or transfer any of your coins or funds. We manage clients' portfolios for a respectable 3% annual fee, which is billed in 1/4 quarterly installments. Don't hesitate. Contact us today, because with these 24-hour, 7-day-a-week crypto markets, it helps to have a professional as a part of your team.